I learned how to find X. I don't even know why we're always finding X. Why couldn't it be like Y or E or F? I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff I feel like school could have taught us, and they missed out a great deal on this stuff. But as an adult, you cannot just always say the first thing that comes out of your mouth. I promise you, you cannot always say the first thing that comes to your mind. You cannot, like, you feel someone is, you just have to think twice before you speak, basically, when it comes to being a human being. Hi guys, welcome back to the Rare View podcast. I am your host kama kawaida, Rachel Anita Mama Roro herself. I don't know why I added that. I don't. But today I want us to talk about things I wish they taught us in school. Guys, I know that there's a lot of things we learned in school. I learned how to find X. I don't even know why we're always finding X. Why couldn't it be like Y or E or F? I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff I feel like school could have taught us, and they missed out a great deal on this stuff. Number one is the basics of being a human being. Guys, this one touches me to the core because I'm like, just basic etiquette, please, thank you, excuse me, sorry. These are words I feel like we should all live by. Not just because it's mandatory. Okay, I feel like it is mandatory to be, what's the word for that? To be courteous to everyone we meet. You have to be courteous. You have to learn how to, when you've had someone, it doesn't, like you won't be a lesser person if you just text your friend, I'm sorry for saying this, or thank you for this. Kwanza watu unatumia pesa alafu hawa acknowledge. Mi hiyo kitu inaniumanga. I'm sorry. Someone is like, they'll call you, can you please help me out with this? Then when you send money, someone can't even say thank you. When unaanza kuuliza, hiyo mpesa ilifika? I don't like it. Just make it basic rule to live by. Always say thank you, I'm sorry, excuse me, and please. One other thing that school missed on being a basic human being is how to regulate your emotions. Well, it is a tough life out here. I don't know how you do it, because some days you just feel like texting everybody on your phone. You feel like going live. I totally understand those people who go live and rant about their life problems. I mean, typical example, I'm here on the podcast. But learning how to regulate your emotions, learning how to keep quiet when maybe you could have said something and ruined a whole entire relationship, learning how to even schedule your crying sessions. I don't know how to put that without sounding depressed or something. But as an adult, you cannot just always say the first thing that comes out of your mouth. I promise you, you cannot always say the first thing that comes to your mind. You cannot, like, you feel someone is, you just have to think twice before you speak, basically, when it comes to being a human being. Number two is conflict resolution. I wish we were taught more about conflict resolution. The only thing I think I learned from school, okay, I was a history student. I think there was arbitration, mediation, and something else. In reality, in real life, we need to learn how to do what, where, even how to sue, because you'll find me there saying, oh, I will sue you. Do I know anything about suing? Do I know anything about a lawyer? But we have to learn how to do better as people, because sometimes we drag conflicts way past where they're supposed to be. We need to learn how to regulate ourselves, our emotions, and how to conflict resolute. I don't know if that's a correct word, properly. The second thing, I think I've said number 2 twice, but the next point is money, bills, and the ghetto. When it comes to pesa, money, I feel like I think maybe business should have been a compulsory course, but I don't know if that would have helped. Or there should be an entire course on finance and financial literacy. I cannot say how much this is important to me. I have a whole series on this. Guys, you can check Financial Lens on that. How to budget without crying. Guys, I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I check my M-Pesa statement and I'm like, who be that? Because that was definitely not me who went and bought shopping at Carrefour. I was going in for milk and left with an entire trolley in this Asian time. I don't know. We have to learn how to budget. And I have a whole series on that, like I've said. Go and learn how to budget. There's the 50, 30, 20% rule, which by now, as my students, you should know how to even sing that into your budget. How to file taxes. Honestly, I don't understand how taxation works. I do understand how it works, but how we file our taxes, I still need to learn a thing or two without like hiring an accountant to do that for me. That I don't even know how to get started on that. The other thing is emergency funds. No one mentioned emergency fund. I feel like if this was a topic done from Form 1 to Form 4, we would have better, everything in the country would just run better. From the president to everyone. If everyone had an emergency fund to take care of business, we would be much, much better as a society. I didn't know you needed an emergency. Let me tell you, when life puts you in a corner is when you'll know why you need that emergency fund. When they say at any point of your employment or business life, you should have at least a savings that can take you for six months to 1 year after you lose that job or business. They were not kidding. Let me tell you. And the other thing we always take for granted is our health. You are one health bill away from poverty. I can assure you, no matter how rich you are, no matter how well protected you are, guys, emergency fund, they should have taught us in school, but they did not. Moving on to the next thing that is just as important as money is relationships and boundaries. So today I had to block someone. Should I get into that? But I had to block someone. It was a hard thing for me to do, but when you consistently tell someone your boundaries, you consistently tell someone this is making me uncomfortable, and that person does not respect your boundaries, you have to cut them off. Saying no without being overcomplicated is such a life skill that we learn later in life. We learn how to prioritize ourselves, prioritize our well-being, being there for ourselves, that just as much as we are there for everyone else. This is something I was not taught in school because anything to do with boundaries, I think the only subject that covered that was CRE. And we all know how that goes. It's always putting yourself before others, loving others. But the one thing I always say is, love yourself, love others. What's that line? How do I even forget the Bible, guys? Thank you, Vanessa. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And there's this thing. I went to a seminar in church. We had a ladies' lunch. It was so beautiful because it was covering this topic of love. And it was assumed in the Bible that you love yourself first and foremost before you love your neighbor. That is something we jump to Nairuka Raka, tunaenda to loving the neighbor. Guys, you have to love yourself. It is assumed God loves us so much that we are in his image, and Pastor Rachel is in the house. We are in his image and likeness, which means we have to reflect God's love. We have to reflect his presence. And you can only do so by loving yourself. Set those boundaries. And if you're like me, block that person. I have about 50 blocked numbers, and I'm not regretting it at all. You cannot come into my space and cause me not to be peaceful. No, thank you. The other thing is spotting red flags. Wanadada, tuonge ama tusionge? Because I'm just like, guys, this person is a pink. Actually, I don't even think pink. May I see orange? Okay, which one is close to orange? Now that we're talking about things in school, do you remember the what was that test? The starch test, where something will go from blue to green to yellow to orange to brick red, if I'm not wrong. When you're testing for starch, for those who did biology. Now, if that thing just changes from green to yellow, out, ninja, enoko, I'm out. So this is something we did not learn in school. That's why I see a lot of, no, I don't want to go down that line. No, the devil is not going to try me today. The other thing is friendship breakups. This one just hurts me. I just realized I think friendship breakups hurt more than romantic breakups. I have lost so many friends in this life. So I'm starting to think maybe I'm the problem. I don't know if I am the problem. But sometimes when a friend, it just hurts when you grow up and you realize you cannot share with this friend the way you used to before. When you realize there's a shift happens. I'm 30. I keep on saying I'm 30 on this show a lot. I'm now 30. You realize your friends are having kids, your friends are getting married, your friends are moving to other countries. It just brings a shift. And unlike when you were 21 and you could go hang out for an entire weekend, no stress, no responsibilities. There's just that kind of shift that happens. And I'm so glad again, as I keep on losing others, I have people who have stayed in my circle who I love so much and have stood by me through like everything. And as much as those heartbreaks hurt, sometimes you do break up and come back. I mean, who hasn't? We break up, break up, tunarudi. So just learn that this is something school won't teach you, but life, unfortunately, will teach you. The other thing is soft life essentials. As a self-proclaimed soft girl, Rachel and it, there are things I'm learning that I didn't learn in school. First is how to rest without guilt. That one, I think it needs to be drilled into my head because I feel like you need to earn rest, which is something I'm also learning is wrong. You deserve rest. You don't have to earn it. You deserve a day in the week where everything is just slow moving and relaxing, and you can just stay in bed, have your favorite cup of tea, and just watch your favorite movie and chill. And you deserve that. You do not have to explain to someone why you need rest. And if you do, remember your boundaries. Another thing is self-worth is not, I feel like I should watch this after I talk. Watch that. Self-worth is not tied to productivity. That one I will get someone who is good in that to explain to you guys how self-worth is not tied to productivity, because I'm those people who I have to be doing something. I just have to do something to feel like I am worth. That took a doctor very fast. That took a doctor. Productivity does not self. Oh God, I feel like I'm preaching to myself. Okay, self-worth is not tied to productivity. That one, however you take it, just learn it. And sometimes doing nothing is exactly what you need to feel like something. Think about it. You need to just chill. Think about it. Yeah. And then the other thing, the thing we're not taught in school is real world survival kit. I don't think people understand. When you move out, when you start living as an adult, there are things people don't tell you, and I wish more people would tell us how to properly cook. No offense to people who don't know how to cook, but you have to learn how to cook. It's a basic life skill. I put cooking and driving in the same category. I feel like everyone above 25 should learn how to do that, because you don't know at what point where you'll find yourself in a mess and you just need to get out of it. Now, cooking. I understand there are people who cannot find their way around spices. I understand that, but just pick. Like these days, there's YouTube. You can just learn how to cook in a matter of seconds. You just need to learn how to cook. I don't know how to put that. How to negotiate everything and anything. Let me tell you, me and those people, I think I got it from my grandma. We negotiate everything. I will niambia kitu ni so na nibai ni so. You have to learn how to negotiate for your salary. You're growing up, you're becoming a big person, a big girl, a big boy, a big man. You have to learn that when someone is asking you, you're at that interview, they're asking you, okay, so what are your expectations? You have to put up a front to that and own it. This is a skill. Let me tell you, this is a skill. You have to learn how to, and if you're on the other side when someone is like telling you what they want, you also have to learn how to counter that. It is a skill that, I don't know, I guess some people are just born with it, I guess. You have to ask the other thing. Oh my God, asking for a refund. That one gives me so much anxiety. But I am those people. It will give me anxiety on the outside, but I'll bring out my big guns. I remember there's this one time. Niseme nisiseme, wacha tu niseme, but I won't name the company. But it is a big company. I booked for a holiday. I was going for my first postpartum holiday. We went to Mombasa. I don't know why. I always do Diani, and for some reason, the devil told me to go to North Coast. I went to North Coast. I had booked a seafront room. Tell me why. I was put in the room at the back. Uko nyuma. You can't even see trees. In the middle of nowhere. The floor was seeping water. Then nothing was working in that room. No AC in Mombasa. I was mad, you guys. And if you've ever seen me mad, yeah, you can tell those people weren't too lucky. I had to ask for my money back, get that money, pay for another hotel in Diani, drive all the way. Like, it was a mess. But let me tell you, they paid me back all my pennies. This is, and okay, side note. Guys, we made it close to the end of the show without saying side note. What side note? Side note, I am married to someone who's very calm. So as feisty as I am, my husband is very calm. He's the type to say, ni sawa tu. I'm like, ni sawa nini? Then I'm those wives, ni sawa nini? So guys, if you're like me, ask for your refund. If you're not happy, but I think one of the most, I don't know if it's a character flaw or if it's a character good thing, I don't know. But you cannot serve me what I did not order in a restaurant. Maybe I'm a menace. I don't know. But guys, that's something you are not taught in school. I just had to learn it. Either way. So I like how school just gave us theories. They didn't give us enough practical tips to live life. And I don't know. You let me know. What did you learn in life that you did not learn in school? So guys, yeah, that's it. Short and sweet today. Kamake kama kawaida when I'm alone. So you will let me know what you learned out here that you wish you learned in school. And let's meet next week, same time, same place. Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, like. Those things are so many. You know whatever guys do to this video. Thank you so much, and I love you guys. Bye. Okay.